Hi, everybody. Here I am, and I think I'm a couple seconds early, but that's okay. And I don't know how many of you are in the room already, but I already have questions for us. I had and today, as you know, what we're going to be discussing is make sure this camera works. The mountain of gold, the eight golden stones, and we'll discuss. People want to know if they could pick stones up out of their yard. Do they have to be round? All that stuff. We'll go into all that. But that's what we're going to be talking about today. But first, we had some questions that related to that. And this particular person asked two questions. So I'm going to put them both up because she put them in the comments so they're easy for me to handle. Oh, do they have to be round? Thank you. No, they don't have to be round. Thank you. They can be kind of funny shaped. The easiest to get. Okay, when I was young, I lived in a place where I could have walked down to a creek bed and gotten the stones. They're sort of the stones you find in a creek bed near you. Ones that you can carry in your hand. And you see, the biggest stone I have is this one, and that's my hand. So that'll give you some idea about the size. And then, so they don't have to be perfectly circular or absolutely anything. They can be any shape you want. I've seen some beautiful. And then this lady went on to ask a second question. I painted the rocks I found in our yard. Is that okay? Thank you. I got the idea from you when you talked about it before. And that's fine. If you can go out and find them in your yard. If I find them in my yard, it's not because the stream left it there. Where I live now, the condominium association left them in a sort of stone beds they put around some people's units. Doesn't happen to be where my unit is, but there are some. And they're all about the size of this. You can get them at any craft store or anything else like that. And then this is the last question that came up. Is there an alternative for painting them? Chemically smells seem to bother me. Well, I don't know how you're going to get them gold. I guess you could get that kind of copper gold gilding paper and do that, but I think that you can get paper that's done for gilding, but it's not gold and it's copper. But I'll tell you what, these stones that I'm going to show you guys today, I did them on my patio where the wind was blowing and the air couldn't get to me. And I'm pretty sensitive to chemical smells too. So if you're just careful and try 2 or 3 things on them, or you can actually, there is an acrylic gold paint that doesn't have like oil painty smells. They don't off gas that much. So that's my answer to that question. You can, if you want to go to the point of getting that gildy paper, go for it, girl, and let me know how it works. Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay, we're going to talk about the mountain of gold first. We're going to talk about Feng Shui. I've seen these stones piled up in such a way that we're literally stacked on each other and kind of glued together. So they make like a pyramid. I keep them on 8 stones. There's 8 stones. That's what it's supposed to be. Somebody just put that in there. Like I said, I may have said the wrong number. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out. You could put on your back door or patio, but Mimi, these are based on the theories of Feng Shui, and that's what I was just about to start to talk about. And I'll put the camera back on me because I think my table does not talk. Feng Shui is translated in Chinese to wind and water. It's We know of over 6,000 years of Chinese practice arranging spaces to balance energy and to promote harmony, health, and prosperity. It works by optimizing the flow of energy and the placement of furniture, colors, materials based on the elements. And they have 5 elements. They don't have, they have wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. And earth signifies stability, the nourishment, the knowledge. Use colors like yellows, orange, and brown when you're like earth. Well, look, I mean, earth in China looks like earth here, apparently. Wood symbolizes vitality, growth, family. Use green and blue colors to get to wood. Water represents wisdom, insight, career flow. Use black or dark or reflective colors for those tones. Fire represents passion, high energy, and fame, and it uses red and vibrant colors, candles, and lights. That my 9 candles ceremony, which I haven't done for a while, and I know I get letters from you all the time, takes a whole lot of organizing to do that. But maybe I'll go back to doing 9 candles for you. But you light a candle. You have 9 candles. They can be the same color. They can be different colors. They can be based on shapes, whatever you want. And you light one a day, and you light the first one, and you say a prayer for prosperity or for whatever you want. In the Chinese, it's called Chinese red candles, and it represented people that wanted to have an increase in income. And I taught a shop owner to do this ceremony. And whenever her cash flow would get where she didn't think it was right, she'd light it up. And she used to have a little thing out on her counter. And she'd light them up for 9 days. She said it always worked. But you have to have an intention. It's like a grid. You have to have an intention that you're praying to. We've done green candles for proper growth, yellow candles for enlightenment and freshness and spirit. We've done all kinds of reasons to do it. And I have a whole, if you go into my playlists, there are 9 candles are in the playlist. And that the 9 candles originally came from doing red ones, and it was an old prosperity ceremony in Feng Shui. Okay. And metal represents efficiency, beauty, precision. Use white, gray, or metallic colors. And in Feng Shui, they have a thing called the Bagua, and you can look this up. I'm not going to teach a whole course on Feng Shui. I don't know. Feng Shui is one of those things I think if you get it right, it's really, really wonderful. And if you don't know what you're doing, you could really mess everything up. But basic principles are things need to be in commanding positions, like your bed should not look at your bedroom door. Your bedroom, you should be able to see your bedroom door from your bed, but it should not be faced to your bedroom door. That's just the one I happen to remember, because my bedroom is not set up that the door's to the side of my bed. Clearing clutter. Now, this is where Feng Shui and I don't get along all that well, because I don't live in an incredibly cooperative household full of people that go around helping keep things clear. And then balancing yin and yang, mixing up opposing forces so that things feel balanced, and fixing broken items. That's one thing I do. I don't let, if something's broken, it's out, it's gone. I don't try to mess with high, flower, beauty, peacock, rainbow. You probably know more about this than I do, but fixing broken items, handling those, it's really important. Now, applying, okay, now the one place I did have some notes, so I copied them down so I could look at them. Feng Shui for your bedroom. Bed placement. Position the bed in a commanding position with a solid headboard against a wall, ensuring that you can see the door, but not opposite the door or not next to the door. Like, you get the deal. Remove clutter and under bed storage. You're supposed to keep the area under your bed completely clear. And I'm not so sure they're not right about that, because I've been having a lot of back pain, really bad. I mean, really bad. I had a kidney infection once. It's the only thing I could relate to. And that kidney infection is quite honestly one of the only times in my life I was in real pain. And I'd go to my chiropractor and she'd work it out and we'd get all the muscles loose on that side. And man, I'd be back at the end of the week. I'd been waking up in the middle of the night screaming, not anywhere else in the house, not moving laundry, not doing anything else. But when I got into bed, that's when it struck. So I'd flipped the mattress. We looked at it. Everything seemed fine. Finally, one of my friends that does what I do, she called me up and she said, I think something attached to you and I think it's under your bed. And she said, so make me happy. Go get some dragon's blood or some white sage mist or something because I can't use smoky incense. And she said, go spray under the bed, spray all around it, and say, I have a couple different protective prayers. She said, use either one of your protective prayers and do that for a couple of days. That did it. I went to my chiropractor this morning. She said, how's the back? And I told her what I'd done. And she said, good for you. Found the answer. Okay. Pairing items. When you have things in your bedroom, they like to be paired. Like you have 2 nightstands or have matching lamps. And so avoid that things. Avoid electronics from work. Minimize the electronics in your bedroom. And they've been telling us this for a long time. And any work-related items should not be in your bedroom. Now, sometimes that just happens. So what you do is you create a clear space, and there's a way in Feng Shui. So you can split the space if you have to do that. It uses a Bagua map, an energy map to identify spaces. It tells you which aspects of your life should be in what parts of your house. And it's really a science unto itself. I have 2 great big, thick, fat books on Feng Shui. My other caution to all of you would be, don't trust AI about Feng Shui. I mean, I guess it's as bad as what they do with astrology. But when I was putting this together, I said, where should I put the mountain of stone? And I have 3 different Feng Shui books, all printed before the internet was even a thought in someone's mind. And they all said it needs to be preferably to the right side of the front door. If not, you can put it to the left. But it needs to be the front door. You're inviting it in, whatever is the main entry of your house. You can also, if you don't have a front door that's convenient to do that, or you live in New York, or you don't want to put it in the hallway of your apartment, you can build it up. And you can look this up, but it says which corner of your office it should, and it's all done by direction, north, south, east, west. So, and so then now we're going to go to the questions and comments. We have going here. Blessings. Are the elementals that want me to own my apartment complex going to bring help to me? Well, I was going to show you the stones one more time. Over this. Then we'll come back to your question. I'll be back to you, Sarah. Oops. I get ahead of myself. I think I've already been here because I've been here this morning in my own mind. Okay. Now, here are the stones that I pile outside my room. I take them in once a year and I wash them and clean them up. The yard guys that clean off our porches and do our lawns and stuff, they blow all the dust and dirt off of them. You need to keep them clean. And some people will get like a big stone and then they'll pile them up, kind of, make one of those things, and they'll stick them together. That's fine. Mine are piled with this one in the back, and then they come in, and the little guys, these little 2 guys, are at the front, and they're right by the front door. I've had some interesting stories about them being out there. One time, an Amazon person knocked on the door, and it wasn't a delivery that needed a knock, but he asked. He said, "What are those gold stones for?" And I said, and I explained it to him why they were there. And he said, "Do you know about that stuff?" And I said, "You're stressed." I said, "You're just wound." I mean, this kid was wound. So I came back and I found him a small piece of Amazonite. And I explained to him how Amazonite can calm down anxiety. And I said, "I know it's hard when you're driving a route, and especially up where I live, the traffic can either be really good and the roads all work, or you're just sitting there looking at all the cars around you. And when you're in a Amazon truck, they don't like that, you to do that." So I gave him the stones. I gave him the little Amazonite. And I said, "You need to consider whether what you're doing is right for yourself." And he came back a couple weeks later, and it's hard for an Amazon truck. It used to be hard for an Amazon truck to get past our house without dropping something off. And he stopped and he knocked again. And I said, "How's it going?" And he said, "I wanted to say goodbye. This is my last day of driving this route." He said, "I'm going on to something else," which is kind of what I thought he would. And I think the Amazonite may have helped him calm down enough to do that. But he would not have known about Amazonite if the stones hadn't been there. And that stone brought me a real sense of prosperity, and it helped me understand. I painted these with gold paint. I've gotten a bag. You can get a bag of stones from any craft store pretty cheaply. And one year before COVID, I made eight stones, the Gold Mountain, for a bunch of friends of mine. I gave out about 5 or 6 of them, and I know 3 of them still have them by their door. One guy called me up and said, "The paint's chipping off." And I said, "It's gold paint, Bill. Get the hint?" He didn't get the hint. I don't know if he still has stones or not. Okay, now we're going to go to your questions. And if you want to throw in questions about mountains of gold or those kind of rituals, I think that's just the easiest and the most fun one. And it's one you can share with friends. Okay. Blessings, Nancy Jean. Are the elementals that want me to own my own apartment going to give me the help I need? So we're going to have to move my gold stones. And okay, we're going to do one quick reading on this, Sarah. I'm sorry for you people. I keep switching from one camera to the other. I'm just so excited this camera works. You have no idea. You want to be out, so I'm going to put you out. They're not going to bring you the help you need. You're going to have to go find it on your own, and I'll show you what you got here. Oops. Boop. Okay, that helps. Okay. You want them to do it for you. Somehow you want it to get handed to you. It's not going to get handed to you. There are people who would partner with you. You're not connecting with them just yet. What's going to come up for you is not going to happen until after spring. This is, you need to look at all the things you've done in your life. And this is when you pick a goal you really, really want to have, and you go for it. And there's some male you thought that you know who's a friend of yours who you've not even let in on this. Let me see if that's right. Yeah, you haven't even told him about what you want to do, and he could be helpful to you. You need to be out there asking. If you're waiting for someone from Amazon to come drop a box of cash on your porch, it's not going to happen. What I see you doing is setting up that as a breakthrough for you, and you need to sit, and every day you need to journal about what it would take, what kind of things you do. And as soon as you open up to the universe and say, "Universe, how can I do this?" They'll present you stories and understandings so you'll know how to deal with it. But I think your question was, are they going to bring me the money I need? No, you have to go find it, girl. And it's there. Okay. Lena, amazing thing. Okay, I'm just going to ask if your March is going to be better than your February was. I'm not going to do an in-depth reading like the kind you're really asking for. That's what you go to my website and find the thing, and it will tell you. Okay, you've been expecting a money change, and it's not going to happen. Some of the stuff you've been stuck in this last 2 months, you're going to be stuck in for the next 2 months. You're okay in the middle of all this. You're really okay, but you're figuring out how to get these things balanced, and you're figuring out how to work against injustice. This card, even though it's reversed, when he's like that, it means I've got all these things. I know how to solve the problem, but I haven't figured the answer out. When it shows up, you're going to get the answer in the month of March, but it's not going to show up completely. You're going to have to work with it to make it right. This is going to be a tough month, guys. I hate to tell you, but I'm going to try to do a thing building up to the 20th when we switch into the next equinox and maybe the next cycle. Hello. What's going on here today? Old subscriber, yet basically brand new to your content. Well, ta-da! Let's see what's going on around Nathan. Nathan, one of the reasons you pulled away from readers is because you kept thinking, they're not giving me the answers I want. And you kept looking at the wrong answers instead of hearing, we're telling you what's going on, and we're also giving you glimmers of how to get to the new space. So don't be so hard on us. Don't block yourself off from getting information because it hasn't been exactly what you expected. Annie Bear order, the second piece of Afghanite. You have to tell me what it's about. Your garden's in the mail, by the way, girl. Yeah, this is sort of craft day here, Nathan. I don't normally do crafts that much. Okay, this is, do you put the stones on your, kid, you can put the stones anywhere you want, Mimi, but the way they're most effective, according to Feng Shui, if people go in and out your back door, your deck, or your patio, if that's the entrance people use to get in your house, then that would be considered the entrance of your house. But that's really up to you how that works. And since I know a lot about Mimi Nee, like she's a wonderful person, and she, not just because she follows me constantly, but because she's just always got bright, wonderful things to ask. But she's just, you have the answer to that one. Put it near the door you use. I know a lot of people used, when I was growing up as a kid, we never went through our front door. The only people came through our front door was on holidays and big parties. Otherwise, you came in the back door. That's right. Oh, nice. Gold is always within us after all, we are the abundance, and we are all part of the source. That's true, Nathan. Don't say ha ha, it's just true. Hi, Celtic Seers. You once warned me about a health issue which turned out to be true. Thank you. Can you give me a reading today? Okay, where is Eleanor? I really don't like health readings. It must have been pretty good if I saw it. Oh, you're doing pretty good, girl. Okay. This shows that you've had your defenses up, but you're at a change. You're at a point where you're really about to start losing a lot of getting rid of things, not losing them, letting them go. This shows your defenses are up and that you don't want to fight about things anymore, and you have built up the strength to take care of yourself. You're just not sure where to plant your talents right now because you want to go back to something where you learn and you exchange with people. And your reading is in the near future. You are, like most of us are at this point, we're letting go of a lot of illusions we've had. We're letting go of a lot of fears we've had. And we're moving on. You're just not sure where to plant your seeds. And part of learning how to where to plant your seeds might come from journaling or asking the universe every day. Sometimes there are times in my life when I play the word of the day game. And I say, I have a notebook here, and I just put a word for that day. And eventually, after about 6 or 7 days, your words begin to form a pattern, and it kind of leads you. It kind of gives you a chance to get into your own mind in a different way. And Celtic Seer is going to keep us all up about the lunar eclipse. Yay! It was early this morning. Time to review diet, health regimen, declutter, pay attention to details, refrain from getting nitpicky, be kind to yourself. And it's true because it happened in Virgo, and Virgo can be very picky if we let it be picky on us. Think about one of my 4 best friends was a Virgo, and she never took the easiest ways to get to anywhere, but she always finished what she was doing. Magical Mermaid. My new theory is the firmer your bed, the firmer your back. I know most people don't want to hear this. No, I have a very firm mattress for that reason. It's not the firmness of the mattress. It was like something kidney punched me, kids. Hi, Jen. Hi, Jen. I lit a candle for your son the other day, and I'm not feeling anything negative around him. I think everything's going to happen so fast, he may not even end up as a part of it. Feng Shui polarity. Sleep with your head pointed north, like the needle on a compass. And that's true if you've got a room where you can do that. My room's so long and shallow, I'd have to sleep standing up to sleep with my head facing north. So it's great if you can do it. Okay, here's a good family history story. Our ancestor Peter, you say your name Del or Doel, got his Mennonite flock out of Ukraine over to Manitoba in the 1870s and was a visionary. I thank him all the time. He's dead now, but I suppose he would be, or he'd be real old. Well, thank you. And you're right. There are people who follow their dreams and do what they feel inspired to do, and it works. Let's get going here. Hide current comment. Wait a minute. I lost a comment. Wait a minute. My little mousie's decided to kind of freeze here. Okay. Someone is saying her bed is under the window and she faces north. And okay, Jen. I said a prayer as well and set intentions at 3:33 this morning when the moon was at its peak lunar eclipse, feeling all positive vibes. Good. That's what you got to do, Jen. Keep your own vibes up. Those people who don't know, Jen's son just joined into the military before things started happening that makes being in the military a non-starter. Okay. So what are we going to talk about now? That was half an hour, guys. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to star you, Nathan, and we'll come back to your question. Celtic Seer, can you see the comment that's immediately beneath yours? He's asking about astrology. I don't do astrology. She does. Ah, yes. And this is one we can all say. May Jen's son remain safe at all times. May it be so. Thank you, Catherine. You could use pyrite. I mean, they wouldn't be as big a display, and you'd have to really scrub them up. Pyrite is fool's gold. Looks gold, and when you clean it up, your fingers get incredibly dirty. I don't know what's on that iron pyrite. I suppose it's the iron, but man, it's a dirty stone. It's a dirty, dirty stone. Um, what else can I say about today? I still have openings in my tarot class with Jeffrey. We still have 2. Get 2 more people. That class goes, and you can go to my website and see all about it. Am I doing member shows for readings? Yeah, you can put a question in, Flower. But yeah, you could use pyrite, would be fine. It's gold. It's actually closer to, people used to think it was gold. So what can I say? It doesn't melt like gold, and it's heavy though. A little piece of pyrite, and you take a piece of normal crystal or normal mineral. Okay. Okay, we got another one to keep in our prayers. My son recently joined the Navy, as in the Middle East. Sending him protect. Yes, we need to all do that. And Celtic Seer's answer to Nathan is, prior to the eclipse in Pisces is still active. I am not surprised that given Virgos in the opposite side of Pisces, good to utilize energies and get things well done. So that's your answer, because trust me, she knows it off the top of her head in a way I don't. Um, and yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, and I'm sorry he got. We pray for all of the soldiers and all of the people that they're going after in Iran that had nothing to do with it. This is part of that sweeping change of leadership we keep hearing about, and it's not sweep faster, change things quicker so that other people can go back to having calm and normal lives. And with that, guys, I really am. I'm going to look at new comments, see what we got. Thank you, Eleanor. Thank you very much for your donation. Also, you guys, I'm over on Substack too. And also, I have the Buy Me a Cup of Coffee. If you can go to that website, and it'll take you to Crystal Directions where I am. And if you buy me a cup of coffee, it gives me the option of sending you back a little 30-second video saying thank you, which is kind of fun. I sort of like doing those. What I do is I just pull one oracle card and I read it for you really fast. And that's what I'll do for us to close this down. Oh. I'm going to read from my crystal reading cards. I read on politics on Sunday, and I don't usually look until late on Saturday to see if anything's happened in the world I really ought to be thinking about. So I didn't see what had happened till later in the evening. Oh, okay. And are you feeling better? Yes, I'm feeling much better. I'm just having allergies right now. We're having a lot of rain go through, and when the rain comes through Texas, it brings a lot of mold and stuff out. And even though I take meds to try and protect me from that, I'm just it's an allergy. So, but it's not as bad as it was last year. I wear a ruby and diamond harp. Should I wear an amethyst instead? Eleanor, we'd have to do a reading on that. Rubies and diamonds are great. They're very protective, very energetic, pull in a lot of energy. Okay, here's someone who's going to bitch at everybody. I'm waiting in the wings for the tarot class. Anyone curious and motivated should join the class. Yay! New member, thank you. Okay. Flower Beauty, type your question in fast. Ooh. Got a great crystal, guys. Probably not one you know about. Yeah, yippee, flowers, remember. It's called. Oh, your question was already posted. Oh. Post it again, flower, real fast, because I trying to go back through the chat. It's almost impossible for me. My old eyes don't do that well. Okay. Cooperite, and this is perfect. Okay, I'm going to put an ad up before I do this. Take the tarot class. It's the best, most informative class. So much fun. I'll have to look at it, Celtic Sears. It worked yesterday. I got one yesterday, so somebody said buy me a cup of coffee doesn't work. Cooperite. Okay. This is her question. I'm starting my business and getting an export license, but I would like to do freelance. So when do you see some money start coming in? Oh, okay. I'm going to ask if there's going to be it's a much next show I do. I'll have the garden out too. Flower Beauty, and it's much better at timing than the tarot is. Tarot is notoriously crappy for timing, but we'll see what we can get. I'm looking. I'm shuffling. I'm absolutely amazed at the number of readers who can't do what they call the poker shuffle, where you put the two decks together. Let's see. Your first card. Okay, this first card's the Three of Swords. That's not a season card. Queen of Cups. That means someone who's living up to the woman living up to her potential. Chariot's your next card. It's coming. I'd say 5 weeks or 5 months, but let's see if we can get a season card. And you're going to do it in partnership with someone. I know you want to go off on your own, but you're going to do it in partnership with someone. Actually, you're going to get an offer you may almost miss, so be very careful about which takes offers. And I'm going to go do a couple more, see if I get a season card. And they got the Fool. You got to do this on your own, kid. And then, nope. You got some good cards. You got Empress and stuff like that. But okay, we're a third of the way through the deck, and we didn't come up with an ace. So you didn't get. So I'd say 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months. She likes me because my last prediction came through. If one came through for you, you got to realize what is it. Somebody told me it's like people who really write. I could not begin to write down all the questions that I know of. Oh, Celtic Seer wants to know. I'm launching my podcast, Spring, Showing the Spring. Will it be successful? Let's see. I'm going to put this over for you. This may be the last time I move the camera because I'm getting bored with moving the camera. But I'm so excited it works. Will it be successful? Yes, it's going to be very successful. It's not going to be monetarily as successful as you want, but it's going to be home for you. You're coming home. You're coming home to what you should be doing. You're going to be treated with great justice. And you got the Knight of Wands, which is going to be really good. That's good for enterprise. And it's going to take you out of your doldrums of not using your skills. Good for you, girl. And I've been drawn to, where's that? I don't think I know that, Mark. Let me see if I have it in one of the books I have out. Nope, I don't have in any of the books that I have out. But silver and onyx are good too. They're both very good grounding elements. And let's see. Yeah, Jeffrey said that yesterday. He sounded a little desperate though at the time about waiting for Mercury to go direct, which doesn't do for another 2 or 3 weeks. Ouch. My next show should be Thursday. Same time. My time, 1. I don't know where. I know you're not in the States. And Jen Miranda's going to listen to you. She's a good lady. Okay. And okay. We're going to hide the current comment. We're going to look at the card. And this is the card we pulled, Cooperite. It said Rites of Passage. It's a deep red stone it works with the base, the first chakra or sacral chakra. It's a very feminine form of crystal. It supports exploring the shadows of self and deep healing our own wounds, provides access to sacred knowledge of the feminine, supports and holds you when you enter into a void, supports you when you feel like, supports you to feel like you belong here on earth. So that's what that stone's about. You've attracted this card today as a sign that you're coming into a powerful new rite of passage, a deep anchoring and honoring of your soul to live balanced and harmonious existence. And that's really a good stone. I think I'm going to leave it with that because that makes me feel like where we all ought to be going with that stone. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I'll see you Thursday, probably at 1. Bye.